Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel Walk Another Mile. Today I'm taking you on an exciting one-day road trip from Bangalore to Sri Rangapatna and Mysore. Two destinations that perfectly blend history, spirituality and royal grandeur. In this detailed video, we'll begin our journey with the sacred Sri Ranganathaswamy Temple, explore the historic site where Tipu Sultan fell in battle, and then step into the magnificent Tipu Sultan Summer Palace and Museum in Sri Rangapatna. From there, we'll head to Mysore, climbing up the Chamundi Hills to visit the Chamundeshwari Temple before reaching the grand finale, the world-famous Mysore Palace. We'll see the palace both by day and by night, ending with the dazzling illumination that lights up the entire structure with over 97,000 bulbs. It's going to be a full day, starting early in the morning and returning by night. So join me as we set off on this memorable journey. We began our trip early morning from Bangalore, and as we drive along, we pass Ramanagara, better known as Ramgarh, where the legendary Bollywood film Sholay was shot. Sri Rangapatna is about 125 kilometers away, roughly a 3-hour drive on smooth highways. Mysore is another 20 kilometers further. And here we are, entering Sri Rangapatna, a town shaped like an island, surrounded by the holy river Cauvery. This town holds immense importance. It was not only the capital of Tipu Sultan, but also a sacred pilgrimage center for Vaishnavites. Our first stop is the Sri Ranganathaswamy Temple. Standing tall with its imposing Gopuram, the temple welcomes visitors with grandeur. The temple is easily accessible by car, and it lies right in the middle of the town, making it the spiritual heart of Sri Rangapatna. Inside the temple complex, you're immediately struck by its Dravidian architecture. Dedicated to Lord Ranganatha, reclining form of Vishnu, this shrine is part of the 3 most important Ranganatha temples along the river Cauvery, the other 2 being at Sri Rangam and Shivanasamudra. Built originally in the 9th century under the Ganga dynasty, it was later expanded by the Hoysalas, Vijayanagar rulers and the Wadiyars of Mysore. The temple is renowned for its intricately carved pillars, stone sculptures and detailed artwork that narrate stories from Hindu epics. Our next stop is a site of great historical importance, the spot where Tipu Sultan, the Tiger of Mysore, fell during the 4th Anglo-Mysore War in 1799. It marks the end of his reign and the beginning of British dominance in South India. Just a short distance away lies our next destination, the famous Tipu Sultan's Summer Palace and Museum, also called the Daria Daulat Bagh. Signboards along the way make it easy to locate this iconic landmark. As you approach the entrance, you'll see the palace grounds lined with greenery. The Archaeological Survey of India manages this site, and tickets cost around 15 rupees for Indians and 200 rupees for foreigners. Parking is available right outside, making it a convenient stop for visitors. The palace is set amidst sprawling gardens, giving it a serene and majestic feel. Built in 1784, the Summer Palace was Tipu Sultan's retreat, showcasing a beautiful blend of Indo-Islamic architecture. The building stands on a raised platform and is constructed mainly of teak wood, with ornate frescoes on the walls. The rectangular structure, surrounded by manicured lawns, was once the seat of Tipu's leisure and diplomacy, where he hosted important guests and dignitaries. As we stroll through the landscaped garden towards the palace, let's take a moment to appreciate Tipu Sultan himself. Known as a fearless warrior, he introduced several administrative reforms, promoted trade, and even pioneered the use of rocketry in warfare. His decision to make Sri Rangapatna his capital was both strategic and symbolic, as the island was naturally fortified by the river Cauvery. The history of Sri Rangapatna is deeply intertwined with Tipu's legacy. Under his rule, the city became a thriving center of commerce, culture, and defense. Unfortunately, in 1799, during the British siege, this very town witnessed the fall of Tipu Sultan, ending an era of fierce resistance against colonial expansion. Even today, walking through these gardens, you can almost feel the echoes of that glorious but turbulent past. And here we are, right in front of the Summer Palace. The elegant arches and floral motifs on the exterior reflect Tipu's refined aesthetic sense. Just outside, you'll also notice relics like ancient cannons, reminders of the many battles fought in defense of this capital. As we step inside the Summer Palace, you are immediately transported back to the 18th century. The interiors are a stunning showcase of Indo-Islamic architecture, built entirely from fine teak wood. Every wall and pillar is richly decorated with colorful frescoes that narrate stories from Tipu Sultan's battles and his courtly life. The ceilings and arches are painted with intricate floral designs, and along the walls, you can still see murals depicting scenes from the Battle of Polilur, one of Tipu's greatest victories against the British. The central hall was once used for important meetings and audiences, while the smaller chambers on either side served as living quarters and private rooms for Tipu's and his ministers. The palace stands on an elevated plinth with open corridors on all four sides, providing both ventilation and elegance. Walking through here, you can imagine the grandeur of Tipu's reign and how this palace served as a symbol of power and sophistication. Towards the end of this section, we make our way into the museum housed within the palace, where many of Tipu's personal belongings and historic relics are preserved for visitors. You are now looking at the Rang Mahal, or the Hall of Paintings, where the walls are covered with vibrant frescoes showing processions, court scenes, and battle victories. Here we see commemorative medals issued by the British to mark their victory in Mysore. This gallery showcases furniture personally used by Tipu Sultan, his sofa sets, tables, beds, and lighting fixtures. Each piece reflects the refined lifestyle of the Mysore court. Here you can see original paintings and old maps, detailing the strategic importance of Sri Rangapatna and Mysore during Tipu's reign. They provide a fascinating glimpse into how battles were planned and territories managed. These are the guns and muskets used by Tipu's army, many of which were considered advanced for their time. Displayed here is Tipu Sultan's personal attire and turbans. These are the silver bowls gifted by Tipu Sultan to the Sri Ranganathaswamy Temple. Here we see more of Tipu's personal weapons, knives, daggers, pistols, and even his shields and royal quota. Each artifact is a reminder of his fierce spirit on the battlefield. And finally, a striking display of swords and blades used by Tipu and his warriors. With this, we conclude our tour of the Summer Palace and Museum. After completing our tour of Sri Rangapatna, we drive towards Mysore, and our first stop here is the sacred Chamundeshwari Temple, perched on the summit of the Chamundi Hills. Rising nearly 1,000 meters above sea level, this hill offers a panoramic view of the entire Mysore city below. The temple itself is one of the most revered shrines in South India, dedicated to goddess Chamundeshwari, an incarnation of goddess Durga, who is believed to have slain the demon Mahishasura, after whom Mysore gets its very name. The towering 7-tier Gopuram at the entrance, adorned with intricate carvings of gods, goddesses, and mythological figures, is a fine example of Dravidian temple architecture. To reach here, you can drive along a scenic road that winds up the hill. And here, inside the sanctum, is the idol of goddess Chamundeshwari, draped in jewels and flowers, radiating divine energy. Devotees believe she protects Mysore and blesses all who come here with faith. And now, we arrive at the crown jewel of Mysore, the majestic Mysore Palace, also known as the Amba Vilas Palace. Situated in the very heart of Mysore city, the palace is easily accessible from anywhere, with ample parking and local guides available right outside. This iconic landmark is the second most visited tourist attraction in India, after the Taj Mahal. As we enter, we are welcomed by a breathtaking sight, a beautiful rainbow forming above the palace grounds. Against this backdrop, the grand silhouette of Mysore Palace looks even more enchanting, a reminder of its royal past and enduring charm. The Mysore Palace is a masterpiece of Indo-Saracenic architecture, blending Hindu, Mughal, Rajput, and Gothic styles. The structure we see today was commissioned in 1897 after the old wooden palace was destroyed by fire, and it was completed in 1912 under the rule of Maharaja Krishnaraja Wadiyar IV. Designed by the British architect Henry Irwin, the palace is a 3-storied stone structure with deep pink marble domes, sprawling arches, and expansive courtyards. It served as the royal residence of the Wadiyar dynasty, who ruled Mysore for more than 500 years. Inside, the palace is no less impressive. We now step into the marriage pavilion, also called the Kalyana Mantapa. This octagonal hall dazzles with stained glass ceilings imported from Belgium, supported by richly carved pillars. The intricate mosaic floor, designed with semi-precious stones, adds to the grandeur. This is where royal weddings, grand celebrations, and festive gatherings of the Wadiyar family once took place, giving us a glimpse into their lavish lifestyle. And finally, we step into the magnificent Durbar Hall, perhaps the most striking room of the palace. Supported by a series of towering pillars painted in gold, with ceilings decorated in pastel shades and Belgian crystal chandeliers overhead, this hall was used for ceremonial functions and royal gatherings. Standing here, you can truly feel the splendor and cultural richness of the Mysore dynasty. As evening falls, the Mysore Palace unveils its most enchanting sight. Over 97,000 bulbs illuminate the entire structure, bathing it in a golden glow that can be admired from miles away. This dazzling spectacle is one of the most iconic experiences in Mysore. Adding to the magic is the light and sound show, where history, music, and lights come together to narrate the story of the Wadiyar dynasty and the grandeur of Mysore's past. Standing before the illuminated palace, one feels the blend of spirituality, heritage, and royal elegance that this one-day trip from Bangalore has offered. From the sacred shrines of Sri Rangapatna to the mighty fort and Tipu Sultan's legacy. And finally, the majestic Mysore Palace. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Walk Another Mile for more travel adventures.